Hello there, and welcome again to the Shadow Gallery. I'll be your host, James Donnelly. And we're going to talk about this week's new comics. But we're also, first, going to talk about the X-Men First Class trailer, which I'm sure that many of you have seen. It's gotten, well over 1 million hits on the tube, which is where you're seeing me now. Because more than likely you're not on my page. My page will be shutting down effective as of March 13th, I believe. But no matter. Myself and the service no longer going to have a relationship. So, on to the trailer. First of all, I think I've expressed before on some of my vlogs, I'm not a huge fan of Matthew Vaughn at all. I really didn't like Kick-Ass. I really didn't like... well, no, I shouldn't say I really didn't like. I was really bored by Layer Cake. I never saw Stardust, but I don't care to. And so this looks different than the Well, it looks different, but it looks the same. I mean, it's just there's no Wolverine. Now, the one thing I will say about it thus far, from what I've seen, is that Michael Fassbender looks really good in this trailer as Magneto, or as Eric Lenscher, whatever you want to call him. He has the right kind of intensity that role needs, I think. The right kind of gravitas that Ian McKellen brought to it. That being said, that's really the only thing that I'm liking about it so far. I don't know who's the teleporter. Who's the red guy? That I didn't understand. I'm thinking that they're setting it, if they want it to be on par with some of the other X-Men films. I think that they would be making. I think they made a mistake in setting it so far back, setting it during the Cuban Missile Crisis in 62, 63. I'm not. I honestly don't remember exactly when that was. That's not the mistake. The mistake is to introduce some of the characters that they're introducing, because we know that we're going to have, they're going to have characters like Havoc and Emma Frost and I can't even remember. I mean, it's like they aged everybody else somewhat well. It's like this is the right time and the right age for these two men, very specifically, to be where they are. As far as time-wise, but if you're going to introduce Scott Summers' brother, probably probably a decade or so before he's even born, when it's supposed to be his younger brother, that to me is a big mistake. So I mean, it's like I guess those are my qualms with it. And I don't like James McAvoy. I think that he's kind of, he just doesn't really do it for me. And I know that he's kind of, become a pet of Mark Millar, who obviously has some influence with Matthew Vaughn, I think, with, McAvoy being in that piece of shit Wanted. Really awful film. Make it in Chloe. Anyway, so that's my take on this trailer. I think that the film is going to try to introduce too many characters too fast, and it's just going to be a big mess. I know that Matthew Vaughn will at least try to make it seem important, but I think that the film is, while it's not going to be as bad as The Last Stand, it's going to not be very good. Again, pretty much the same thing with all the the Matthew Vaughn films that I've seen so far. It's just always just kind of misses the mark, or it fails utterly, like with Kick-Ass. So that's my take on it. Agree, disagree. It's going to happen. So, anywho, now we're going to move on to comics from this week. So I'm going to start off with a couple of finales. First finale that I'm going to start off with is Widowmaker #4. This was a really, really good series. It was a very good read, really enjoyable. To see everybody being kind of badass. It has kind of a weird resolution, but the fights with the the live volcano, it's good. It's a spy story, and I know that Dwayne Straczynski is probably he's probably a little bit of a James Bond fan, because this has a very James Bond kind of feeling. In the reveal of it's Black Widow's ex-husband and everything like that. So and it's fun. Do you want to be on camera? Okay, she doesn't want to be on camera apparently. So this very entertaining read. I really enjoyed it. So if you haven't picked up the individual issues, I don't know if this is a big seller or not. You could probably find them pretty easily. Again, the art got better than it was in the last issue, so that was a nice change of pace. Because like I said, the last issue seemed like the artist was trying too hard to copy John Cassaday, and it doesn't work like that. I don't know if they got a new inker or what. So, something changed. But, get the trade when it comes out. I'm sure it will sometime. Or get the individual issues, because I'm sure you can find them. Next finale that I want to talk about was to one of my favorite minis of this year, of the last, of last year in this, which is Invaders Now, #5. First of all, Alex Ross and Christos Gage did just a fantastic job plotting this. The art in this book is pretty dynamic. The story arc was really, 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 really riveting. The fact that the invaders, back during the Second World War, that they made this, decision to, basically kill innocent people who had been, mutated by Arnim Zola into these, horrific, just killing machines. So it really had a lot of depth. It had a lot of weight. It brought good stuff to the characters. And what I like about this so much is that there is the possibility for more invaders, which would be awesome. Because just looking at this, cover, you've got quite a few characters that I would love to see team up again. Union Jack is a personal favorite of mine. Obviously Cap and Steve Rogers. Spitfire, Namor, Human Torch, the Golden Age Vision. These are all good characters, and there is an email address, which is mheroes@marvel.com. Write to them, say, we want to see more Invaders, because this is a really good series, and I think that they'll do a really good job with it. So, we're going to step away for a moment, and we'll be right back with more comics. See you in a minute.